Welcome back. This is the final installment for the ElvUI configuration. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna cover a few of the things that I haven't covered, and then I'll load up some gameplay to let you see the actual action from a fully leveled character that has all the buttons and everything set up and running properly. So the only thing that we really haven't covered is if you look at the action bars, um, you have the ability to set your key bindings. And you do that just by going, there's a couple of ways to get to it. One is you go to your action bars and hit keybind mode, and that brings up this window. And then the other way is to type /KB, and it brings up the same window. Now, when you mouse over, what you're going to do is if you want to get rid of any of the key bindings that currently exist, you want to just mouse over and press the escape button, like so. I'm going to discard that so that I don't lose mine. But to add a key binding, so let's say, okay, so that was Alt-1, your Alt-1 button, or in my case on my mouse, it'll be my Alt and my #1 button on my mouse. So in order to get that to show up again, all you do is mouse over what you want, press the whatever button you want as a modifier and the button that you want it to bind to. And then you hit save. That's it. And it'll you do that for all of them. In the keybind mode, you can also set it for character specific. Or you can leave it for an individual character. I usually split up for individual characters instead of trying to have all of them the same, because there are a few minor differences between them. All right, so Movable Frames is just a module that you install, and it allows you to permanently move any one of the frames that you have. So I have it set so that I can actually move any one of the frames that I want. Sorry, not that one. Let's see. Let's look at this one, for example. That's one of the few that you can't move. Let's see. What do I want to open? All right, so there's the spells. And as you can see, this is completely movable. I can put it anywhere I want. And if I was to hit permanently move, when I moved it, it would stay there. Same thing with the character window. I can move it anywhere I want. And if I was to say permanent, it would permanently move it to that location. I think that's just about majority of the windows you can do that with. That's something very simple. So let's see, what else do we have? Extra action bars is just a module that I've added. And you can download that from ElvUI. And it adds 4 additional bars. And if you toggle the anchors, here's the bars right here. Now, I'm using several of them right now. That's my macro bar. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. And then there's a couple on the side. But all 10 bars would be visible, and you could actually do what you want with them and adjust them how you want, just like you would any of the other bars. All right, and that's that. The improved system data text, that's just the text up here. And it just modifies and adds a few other things to the text that you can add in. Totally up to you. Raid marker. Raid marker is actually very useful for me. As you can see, mine shows up anytime I have a target. When I don't have a target, it doesn't show up. And that's set to auto right here. If I want the world markers to show up, so if I close this and I want to put a world marker, I just press the shift button. All right, and for some reason that's not working. Yeah, there must be something going on with the world markers, but under normal circumstances they work. See, bar visible auto, world marker shift, and then you can change whether it's vertical or not in the scaling. So if I was to change horizontal, I could put it, or vertical, I could put it someplace else, horizontal, put it right back where it was. All right, so that is everything. That's all of the bars. There's nothing else in the bars. There's nothing else in the UI that I have to show you. That's it. That's ElvUI. So what I'm going to do is I will go to one of my characters and I will bring him up in either a raid or maybe a dungeon that I've already recorded for you, and I will add that in, and we'll.
Yeah, sure. Because I don't think we. Well, do we need it on the next one?
I don't think so.
And a few things that I want to point out real quick.
So here we go.
As you see the boss's nameplate, it says 100%. That lets you know automatically whether you got a target or not, how much health he has.
3, 2, 1.
So let's move on. This is my raid team. This is a mythic run. And the color of the nameplate that you just looked at was red, then it turned green. Green indicates his health. The red indicated that he was enemy and that he was going to attack you if you got too close. Just a quick indicator. As you can see over my nameplate, my unit frame, my aura bars are running. Now that's a quick reference for me to let me know, okay, how long is this going to last? How long is that going to last? So on and so forth. And then with
Man,
the party unit frames, as you can see, I have that centered down in the bottom.
Next one.
Remember, adds priority
This one's
over
ads. Yeah.
boss, so he'll
And
drop
I'll
a
do
flare
that with all of my
and
frames,
then
whether it
morph
be a
elemental when
raid
those
frame
units die.
or a unit or a party frame.
And they need to die before he does, because if he dies, then the big thing comes out, and
So
then we'll
as we pull, you'll see the boss frame come up on the right hand side. And
5, 4,
should be any second now. Yeah, there we go. 7-second pull.
1.
yeah.
So on the pull, you see the boss frame come up, and that is also targetable. So if you want to cast a spell on him and you have a mouse over, you don't have to retarget. Let's say as a healer, you're targeting your main tank or whatever. You can just mouse over that individual boss frame and cast a damage spell. So, for example, with my Elemental Shaman, I'll cast Elemental Blast to generate mana.
Beware.
And on the target frame, that is your standard, or yeah, your target unit frame. That's just your standard. And then right below that, you'll see the target of target. So that's what that that unit is targeting. So right now, as you can see, our tank has been targeted, and any aura that
Add.
that boss has or that target has is ticking down, as you can see right above. That's my spell that I had cast on him that's ticking down, and I can monitor that to see if I need to reapply it. Normally, what I do is I set it up so
Don't worry
only
about
my
the first
auras
one.
are showing. That way I know what I need to do. For example, as in this case, cast a damage spell on him. In that
we'll do
case, it
hero?
was a dot.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a really.
So as we
good
move on to the
cast.
next boss, you're going to see the same thing. You're going to see the boss frame come up.
So there you go.
And the auras will start showing up shortly thereafter.
5, 4, 3.
And again, that doesn't matter whether it's friendly or enemy on the unit, on the target frame. If I have something else targeted, those auras will show up. So any of my healing rain or riptide, anything like that on another target would show up. If you look in the corners of the unit frame, you're also going to see little squares. Those are indicators for me to tell me that
Nice.
you know my riptide is still active.
Not even one.
1.
All right, so here we're in a heroic Manor-Hoth fight, and as you can see, the skull is marked over the one that they want us to hit, and it shows up on the target frame, my target frame. But it also shows up on the boss frame on the right-hand side. And every time one is added or one is killed, you'll see
He's
that
just a
the
little
boss
far out of
frame
my range.
changes.
Purple to the middle.
So that one went away, and we still have the Doomlord marked. And as his health goes down, the percentage and the number will change on that as well. And as you can see, we have one summoner left out of the 3 that
I
were
say,
up.
gee, that's not big.
Yeah, right. I'm
I'm with
somewhere.
the group over here,
You can
guys.
see
I'm
by
cross-eyed a
the
little bit,
red indicator around the bar
Too much whiskey.
who has aggro, who doesn't.
Stress.
And if I didn't have my image up with Thrawn down over the nameplates, you'd actually see the aggro bar that shows how much aggro you have.
The stress that I've had in the whiskey, I'm like falling into absolute. I can't cast that.
Now, all of my healing spells are set up with macros, so I can just mouse over any one of the unit frames,
Range, get
any
your
unit
infernals down.
frame, boss, raid, mine, target, focus frame. So, for example, I have focus frame set up for one of our tanks, and that's the one that I'm focusing on keeping my my earth shield up on that tank.
Beware.
And I also watch the raid frame for that individual, and I make sure that, and there's an indicator on the tank's unit frame that indicates where how much earth shield is left, so I know whether I need to reapply or not.
Beware.
Okay, so you see my cast bar, and then also you see the boss's cast bar at the top.
Beware.
Now, that lets me know when the boss is going to cast something. You know, for example, his massive strike, or whatever the hell it is. He cast that, and I know that that's a big hit that's coming to the tank, and I know to watch the tank, and I can see who my target has targeted, so I know, for example, in this case, it's the Death Knights that's
Beware.
So as the fight goes on, you watch
Beware.
the cast bars to see how much is left. Now, the other thing is that we haven't discussed yet is the mana bar, my mana bar. Now, I have a couple of indicators. One is my mana bar right in the middle between my frame and my target's frame. And that's kind of my quick judge right there. But I also have tell me when it runs and says, for example, I can see right now that I'm at 72% mana. Now it's back up to 75%. And that helps me monitor, both of those help me monitor how much mana I have. You know, do I need to cast Elemental Blast in order to help generate more mana? Have I gotten to so low that I need to take a mana potion? That right there is my indicator that helps me with that. Now, as you can see on the boss frame, I have percent health and amount of health left. One thing that you're seeing right here is I have no target. That's my mouse over. I don't need a target.
2, 1.
Should I want to target the boss? I mean, he's kind of big right there. I can either click on him or I can click on the boss frame. And I know that I can get my heals out based on my mouse over macros. And I can cast them real quick.
Beware.
All right, so the tank went down. They get the tank back up. And you saw that with the tank's unit frame, which is the one with the purple diamond, went completely red. And it also said DEAD dead in the unit frame.
2,
So we knew that we had to cast Battle Res real quick on the tank, get the tank up, otherwise the other one would have died real quick.
I can't cast that.
Beware.
All right, you can see the colors in the raid frames
Get Laurel up if we can.
showing the amount of health. You also saw an icon that came up that showed that a res was being cast on the individual who was
We
dead.
still have another battle rose, 5 seconds.
Beware.
All right, so we're getting ready to transition into the last phase here. And I'm watching real close on the boss's health bar, because this is where it starts getting a little bit dicey for the healers. By having this up and knowing what phase I'm in, then I know that
4, 3, 2, 1.
Destruction.
how much mana I have is important in this case, and what spells can I cast, what big spells. About to cast Ascendance here, and I have all those macro together where I can cast Ascendance and Spirit Walk at the same time.
Beware.
So I'm able to cast on the run. But by doing this, I'm able to keep up many people. And we're getting close to the end, and I can see that the boss is casting a spell, and right there I didn't move out of it in time. Luckily, I didn't die.
Four, 3.
There we go.
Okay.
Boss
Yeah,
is
you
about
don't
dead.
wanna
Yeah, I
stop
want to thank you for watching.
fell.
This was enjoyable doing this. Have a great time. Please like and subscribe.